Hi everybody, this is Nate from The Kraemer Life. With the help of several friends, on Saturday, September 10th, we processed the 2 red wattle Berkshire pigs. Our friend Sean from the Modern Yeoman has a really good video of our day processing, and if you want to watch that, I'll put 2 links down below in the description of this video. The first link will give you the full video where you can see nearly all parts of pig processing. The second link will skip past a lot of the graphic content and bring you straight to where we're cutting the meat and what leads or what follows after that. But I still want to warn you, if you don't want to see any graphic portions of pig processing, then you may not want to watch this video. This video is going to showcase what Katie and I had to do to prepare for pig processing the few days prior, and then also what we had to do after pig processing day. We were gonna have about 16 people over for processing day, and so we needed to get the farmhouse ready to use. Katie really needed a larger space to cook and a larger oven to cook for that many people, and we kind of just needed a gathering space. And since the farmhouse has been in demolition mode, we kind of needed to do a bit of putting back together. The first thing that we decided to focus on with the farmhouse was the kitchen. So to get it ready for use, we brought in 2 of the countertops that we recently just ripped out of the kitchen. And then we decided to go ahead and use the brand new cooktop and oven that we purchased for the farmhouse. So we unboxed that and we got that set up. After we got the kitchen in a functional space, we focused on getting the west porch that's just off the library here to be a good gathering space outdoors. Recently, Katie and I purchased some outdoor furniture from a local hardware store at a really good discount. I think it was like 50% off. So we decided to assemble that furniture so that way we had a place to gather and to eat at mealtime. And even though the forecast called for morning showers, it was supposed to clear up and become beautiful, perfect weather for an outdoor meal. So cleaning was a must, and here in the library, we wanted to use this as a gathering space just in case the weather didn't turn out to be as nice as the forecast showed. On the floor, there were stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of books, because Katie and I have been going through them, sorting and organizing and trying to decide what to do with them. So I took a few empty shelves that came from the bedrooms, I filled up those shelves with the books, and then when I had no more room on the shelves, grabbed some boxes, put books in boxes, and carted them into storage for us to deal with them later. While I was cleaning the library, Katie focused on cleaning the bathroom and the kitchen. She first started in the hallway bathroom, cleaned that really, really well so our guests would have a place to go if they needed to, and then she turned her attention back to the kitchen here and cleaned the countertops really, really well so we had a good clean area to prep for food and for people to gather and get their food for mealtime. And you might notice in the background, we actually put up some plastic along the walls to make sure that any debris from our renovation didn't escape. So we wanted to make sure this place was nice and clean and inviting for people to come into. All right, now that the farmhouse is clean and it's a comfortable place for us to cook and for us to gather, Katie and I decided it was time to get the processing area set up. So the first thing we did was assembled our new Easy Up tents. They're 10 feet by 10 feet. The first one took a little bit of learning on how to get it up. The second one went up rather quickly. We got these tents so we could stay out of the elements, whether that was rain or the sun. Then I decided to spray the processing area with Wondercide Flea and Tick yard spray. I wanted to get rid of any annoying bug that I could, specifically ticks and mosquitoes. It's unfortunate, but Wondercide doesn't do anything for flies or for bees. And while I was spraying, Katie was bringing over the supplies needed for processing day, such as the folding tables, freezer paper, gloves, trash bags, hanging gambrel, the meat hooks, you know, all the stuff we're gonna need to have a successful day of processing the pigs. We also just recently purchased some heavy-duty stainless steel tables, so Katie and I got busy assembling those and bringing them over to the processing area. The Red Wattle's last meal was early Friday morning, which was at least 24 hours before the start of processing day. You want to make sure that they don't have a lot or any food in their system on the day of processing. However, it is okay to give them a small snack on the afternoon prior to processing day. So Katie and I decided to go grab a small pumpkin from our pumpkin patch. We're cutting our first pumpkin in half to feed to Miney and Mo. It is the day before we process them, and you're not supposed to feed them the night before, but you can give them a snack in the afternoon. So they're going to get a pumpkin snack, which they're going to enjoy. It's also going to be beneficial for various reasons for them and for us. So not quite exactly half. I'm not doing a very good job with this knife here, but either way,
we'll cut it in quarters. That's going to be big for them anyway.
Okay. Either way, it's really sad to say, but this is their last meal.
Miney, it's on your nose. You want that one? You want to take it? You got it? No? Maybe they don't like pumpkin.
Doesn't look like they like it.
You don't like pumpkin?
Nope. Well, it turns out they did not like the pumpkin. They eat the seeds and the guts inside, but not the meat. So now that we had everything set up, Katie and I felt that we were ready for the next morning for processing day, so we turned in for the night. And sooner than we expected, processing morning was upon us. Today is the 10th of September, Saturday, and it's the day that we process our first 2 pigs on the new homestead here in East Tennessee. Today we're going to be processing the red wattles, Miney and Mo. It's kind of a big day for us. It's a lot. You know, we've been raising these pigs, hi Winston, for about 4, 5, 6 months now, something like that. And we've gotten to know them, so it's a little more personal than the other 5 pigs that I've helped process with friends. We have some friends coming today to help us. We have Billy and William from Parrottsville farm. They're going to be leading and showing us all how to process for the parts that we don't know how to. The other friends that are coming, we have Justin Metcalf from Metcalf Mills. I don't know what his experience is, but I imagine he's done this a few times. We have Sean Higgins from the Modern Yeoman, and I know that he has a lot to learn with this. And then we also have Ben and Meg Holler from the Holler Homestead, and their kids are coming. And I know that Ben has quite a bit of experience with this, and so I'm not sure how much he's going to learn, but maybe he'll learn something new and show us something new as well. So we're very excited about this day. Unfortunately, it's a day that's raining, and so we do have cover for the area where we're going to be processing, and we've set up the inside of the house. We've got it clean enough to where we can all be inside the house. And so there'll be cooking and stuff going on in the house, so there'll be processing going on outside. So I really thought that I was going to film more on processing day, but I got so caught up in the activities and learning that I just didn't film that much. Billy and William from Parrottsville farm led the operation all the way from dispatch to freezer. We worked well as a team. Sean, Billy, William, Justin, and Ben cut the meat. Meg and I worked together in wrapping the cuts in freezer paper. While the adults were busy processing the pigs and cooking, the Holler boys were able to explore our property and our barns, and the youngest one also decided that he wanted to mow our lawn. Now that the processing was done and all the meat was in the freezer, we were all able to sit down and relax and enjoy a bounty of food cooked by Katie and brought by Meg and Sean. It was absolutely delicious. The next morning, there was a lot of cleanup to do. The first thing I did was moved the chickens over to the processing area so they could eat all of the pig bits that fell on the ground during processing. So I woke up early, I moved their netting, hooked the coop up to the lawnmower, moved it into position, and released the birds. So yesterday we processed our 2 red wattle pigs, and this is the area that we did that. So I moved the chickens over here so they could pick up all of the scraps that were dropped on the ground during the processing time. and did that to reduce the number of flies and to give them a free meal. So the plan is to get the other chickens over here. So half of the flock sleeps in the coop, half the flock sleeps in the trees, and they're over there in their old paddock. So they'll eventually make their way over here, I hope, and we'll get them into this paddock. But I want these chickens, and they're already doing their job, to go through and pick up all of the chicken scraps and eat, get a free meal, and whoa, hello. All right, gotta clip those wings. Get a free meal and reduce the fly population. We have the buckets there, they're full of the guts, and so I'm going to create a big compost pile and put the guts on there and let them eat the guts, and I'll cover the compost pile, or the guts in the compost pile, to also reduce the fly population. So they're hard at work. Now I'm going to see about getting, oh, here they come. They're making their way over. They might become free-range chickens, but they're making their way over, and it looks like Winston's exploring their old paddock to see what it looks like and sniff out all the smells. So the next question was, what do I do with all of the parts of the pig that we didn't put in the freezer? Well, I decided I was going to compost it. Okay, so I'm pretty much piling everything that I can into this compost pile. Katie is out mowing. She's getting some grass right now. I just dumped the pig guts on top of the wood chips. I have compost in the bucket that I'm going to dump on top of it, because that's I have a whole load of that. So here we go. We have some grass. We're basically just going to try to make a giant compost pile and bury the meat and just let it heat up and cook everything. All right, you can see behind me the compost pile is rather large, which is good. I want it to be big so it gets nice and hot. I layered it with carbon and grass clippings or nitrogen as much as I could. I've never been very good at building a compost pile, so I hope it works. But mostly I wanted to make sure to get all of the organs and stuff covered, so flies and stuff don't get into it. As it breaks down and the chickens scratch around it, they can start eating whatever pieces they want out of it. For now, they're scratching around the ground where there's bits of pieces of chicken and flies and whatever. So now what I'm going to do is wash off the tractor. My neighbor let us borrow his tractor. He wasn't able to make it, unfortunately, but he let us borrow it, and I want to make sure I return it in cleaner condition than it arrived. And specifically because we use it for hoisting up the pig and stuff, I just want to get all the nastiness off. I just used it to move a bunch of compost, and so I'm just going to wash it. Last but not least, we had washing and cleaning to do. The bus bins that we use to hold the meat during processing day, those had to be washed out really, really well. All the tools like the gambrel and the meat hook and the scale, those had to be washed. The tables, the plastic folding tables and the stainless steel tables had to be washed really, really well. Once everything was washed and clean and dried, we had to put it into storage. So we backed up the truck, we loaded the tables, any chairs, all of the processing equipment into the back of the truck, and drove it down to the storage area on the north side of the house. We decided to use the room underneath the north sun porch as our storage, so we moved all of the pig processing equipment, the tables, into that room for storage until next processing day. So that was our experience with our first pig processing on our new homestead. I see a lot of videos on YouTube about how to process pigs or the day of processing, but what's not talked about is all the prep work to get ready for processing and then all the after work after processing, and I wanted to cover that. In the end, all of the effort that was required to get us ready for pig processing was 100% worth the effort. So Katie and I are extremely thrilled to have a freezer full of food that we raised. And knowing where our food comes from is not only very satisfying and rewarding, but it's also very comforting. We raised Miney and Mo humanely. We gave them the best life that they could have while they were with us. We're grateful for what they have offered us. And the fact that we were able to dispatch them kindly, quickly, and without suffering, it really means the world to us. And we do take this very seriously. And like I said, we are very, very grateful for what they have offered us. And I want to thank my friends. We would not have been able to do it without you guys. Sean, Justin, Ben, Meg, Billy, and William. Thank you guys so much for everything that you did on processing day, all the advice you gave us, the teaching, the hands, getting it all done. Seriously, without the community, without you guys, we would have not been able to do that. So thank you very much. So with that said, I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.